Hello and welcome to Reborn Mind, Body, Soul. My name is Matthew Muzzy Muskeen, and if you're watching this, you believe in new beginnings and becoming your own ultimate superhero. Now, my intention for this video is to talk to you about the powers of a sex fast, what a sex fast is, and maybe look at sex a little bit differently and give you a little bit of history on sex. We're here at a sacred temple today, and that's my approach with sex now. I'm trying to make it more spiritual, more sacred, in a way that I've never seen it before. And my intention always for sharing my experience is to hopefully maybe positively impact you, maybe give you an idea, or maybe even better, give you a rabbit hole to open up to go research into. So let's get into it. What is a sex fast and why do a sex fast? Well, a sex fast to me is refraining from having sex consciously. Now, why would you do that? Well, before I give you a why, let's give you a little history on why do that. Well, if you think about it, or if you've looked into sex as a cultural revolution, we got to go back to the 1960s. Now, back before the 1960s, we, generally speaking, didn't have very much promiscuous sex, at least that we were public about. And then 1960s came along. This is the hippie revolution. This was where the world was changing quite a bit. Well, actually, it's right when birth control was introduced. Birth control was a pivotal moment in our culture because it allowed us to have more promiscuous sex. On top of that, that allowed us to have more sex whenever we wanted it, and on top of that, the sexual taboos were starting to become norm, where you were able to have sex with anyone and it wasn't deemed as bad or you weren't looked as nasty. Well, now fast forward that to us now. Well, now we've kind of come full circle, and this sex that we're having now is completely unconscious. It's out of our animalistic drives. And if we look back and date back to sex way back, this was a spiritual practice. This was something to connect deeper to your heart. And often I've been around a lot of sex and witnessed a lot of sex due to living in Las Vegas. So I've learned a lot over the years of this topic and been hyper diligent on studying it and studying myself in the process. So come with me and I'll share with you kind of my process on what has happened to me on my journey with sex. So at the beginning of my journey, as a young man would be, is I was really interested in getting a gain for my own pleasure. And I kind of ran ravage with sex and didn't really be conscious of it. But as I started meditating more and was more spiritual, I started looking into sex a little bit deeper, looking into celibacy and sexual transmutation and semen retention. Now, semen retention, I'm not sure if you know this, but as a man, we can have different kinds of orgasms than just having ejaculation out of our penis. Well, so why is that important? Well, you got to think about this. It's called life force energy, right? So what we're doing is we're generating life force out of us as a man. And how does this work as a woman? Well, a woman is naturally in her yin energy in the sexual dynamic, whereas a man's in his yang. But we have to think about it like, if a man has sex and ejaculates, he's now done, essentially, or goes again, but is essentially done in the sexual interplay. So this was a great topic for me. I deeply was looking into this. I was super confused because here I was, society tells me, my friend groups tell me, you know, go out and run ravage and it's okay, and you're more of a man by more women you have. And that was confusing because then I'm looking at the spiritual teachings and they're like, you know, in Taoist scriptures and stuff, they're saying, sexual kung fu, retain your semen. So then from there, I went into celibacy. And that was great. That was so beautiful, but still not the solution, because to just deny yourself of something, which is the sexual energy, which is extremely powerful, is, in my opinion, not also the solution. But how do you work with it? So then I met Molly and been working at growing our love. And at the beginning, when I went from having no sex for almost a year to having a connection with a beautiful girl, kind of got unconscious again. And it was not that it wasn't in the heart space, but it was more animalistic. So from there, what we've been doing is constantly talking and conversating, and she's super supportive of this as well. So this might be beneficial to have a supporting relationship that conduces to this higher spirituality in a conscious relationship. She's been supportive of me and of the journey of making a more spiritual connection and having a more deeper connection than just beyond the body, beyond the pleasure. And this is possible within a tantric relationship, within doing these spiritual practices. So I want to leave you with this. So next time you are entering in the sexual interaction, maybe pause, think of me. No, just kidding. But think of this video and think of this idea of, am I conscious right now? Or am I acting out of this animalistic place in myself? And if you are, that's okay, but at least now you're becoming aware of it. And then ask yourself, how can I move deeper into my heart? Where can I make this more of like a sacred space? This is why I've come to this temple today to, set a sacred space, make it more conscious, and potentially set up some rituals to have this holy grail of an experience. Now, there will be definitely a sequel to this video because right now I'm currently in Bali deepening my tantric practices. So as I deepen my practices, always my intention is to share my practices with you. So look out for more videos on this topic because this is a massive topic and I wish you the best in the bedroom. I share my peace and I share my love. Hey, thanks for sticking around. If you want more videos like this, click the videos next to me right here. They're exactly what you need to see. And if you're new here, click the subscribe button, become of the Reborn family, and become a better, stronger version of yourself. Leave a comment below because I read all of them. So come be a part of the family. Thanks for watching.